Gotta keep them separated. Separated. Hey! The man you disrespecting me. Take him out.
Hello there, Starscream here for a review this time, and I thought what better chap to do a review of than Waspinator. I mean, it's... oh, there we go, there's the fella. There's been a few variations of this toy. The Fox Kids recolor one, which this is, and the original one. Oh no, I've got them mixed up, because he just shot his weapon out. I left the gun in there, look, so I could differentiate between the two, and it shot on the floor. Never mind, carry on. Okay, you can see there's a slight variation in colour, but I'll talk about the toy a little bit more. Let's talk about his character, shall we? That's first and foremost what was on my mind. Name Waspinator is also quite interesting. I mean, you think of it this way, the name Wasp and Terminator. And what do we get if we put them together? Waspinator. And that's primarily his name. Now, he's a bit haphazard, this poor chap. I'm afraid more than, well, I'd say 99.9 times out of 100, he gets himself blasted to slag. Unfortunately for him, he's always in the wrong place at the wrong time. Now, he means well in what he does. He's relatively loyal to Megatron if he thinks that Megatron's watching, but if he's got a chance of doing what he wants or pursuing his own ends and Megatron won't find out, he'll go for it every time. And he may talk in some dim-witted, broken up, half-arsed English, but in actual fact, Waspinator isn't an idiot. He works out the plans of what the Tripredacus Council are doing, what Tarantulas is doing while there's two moons. He works it all out by himself. Usually he's one step ahead in front of Megatron. Same as ahead, wasn't it, really? Yeah, forget that. It was right the first time. Yeah, he's usually one ahead of Megatron, and he actually knows what he's on about. It's just his broken up English which lets him down. Another interesting thing to note is out of all of them in the show, he's the only one who stays exactly the same as when he started out of all the 5 Predacons. I mean, Rhinox and Dinobot, they stay the same, but I'm not talking about the Transmetal variant. Before you start posting it at the bottom here, I've forgotten that one, I haven't. But he's the one who actually remains the same right through until the end. There's a Transmetal variation in toy that was released, but I've shown that before. I'm not bothering with that today, because you've seen it, that's it. It's not in the show. So it's not applicable to the character. And out of in his disproportionately broken up, incoherent language where he talks of everybody as a third and first person, he's the only one who calls himself Waspinator. He calls Megatron and Optimus Prime and Optimus Primal. Any of the others, he refers to them as their alt modes, i.e. Silverbolt, he calls Doggybot. Or Quick Strike, he calls Two Heads. So you get the idea of what he's referring to. So it's not rocket science, but it makes sense. And that's how he refers to most people through the show. Now, Starscream actually takes him over in one of the episodes, and that's quite good. And I quite like the way that one panned out. So if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to ruin it for you. Needless to say, look out for that one, because Waspinator gets taken over by Starscream. Now, another interesting thing to know about Waspinator is he's a pretty good fighter. His aim is practically second to none. I mean, usually, what he aims for, he hits. Providing he isn't blasted to pieces in the process, or one of the other Predacons is accidentally bungled into him, i.e. Inferno or Quick Strike, usually arses up his plans. And it comes to an end in the last episode, or Nemesis. Now, Megatron sends them off to find a new colony. as Inferno would say, and him, Quick Strike, and what's the other one? Yeah, Inferno. I just said it, didn't I? Oh, yes, stop repeating yourself. So, they're sent off to find a new colony. Now, at this point, Waspinator comes to start saying, I've had it. Why does the universe hate Waspinator? I'm sick and tired of being blown into slag. I've had enough of it. I quit, primarily. And he turns round and he insults the other two and then says they can pucker up and kiss his big fat arse. Can't remember the exact words, along those lines. I've forgotten what they call the tails of these fellas. But they in reply turn around and shoot him. And he gets blown up again. And then we see his head bounce off, which I'm going to show at the beginning, so hey ho, you've already seen it. But he puts himself back together again. And at the end of the show, you see him sitting there, and Waspinator says, Waspinator, happy at last. All the others are blasted off, the war's over, and he's sitting there in command of the Neanderthal humans. And then we find out, in Beast Machines, that they've actually got pissed off with him, and they shoot him back off up Cybertron. And he ends up being on Cybertron's as one of the drones, and he's mistaken for a long time as being Silverbolt. He's actually Thrust, and he really likes his almost as Thrust, because Waspinator likes to be cool, and he's got Black Arachnia chasing him around, thinking he's Silverbolt, and he's not. It's Waspinator. But there you go. That's what happens in Beast Machines, and I was talking about Waspinator, and I really like the chap. He's actually one of the favourites in the show. He was actually released in a fair few Fox Kids recolours. One of them was Buzzsaw. Now, as you know, the original Beast Wars toys had an alt head, supposedly a battle head. So what they done, yet again, as Ro, oh, you've got to love them, haven't you? They released it as a separate toy, called it Buzzsaw, and all it is his battle mask. He just flips around, and he's got somewhat of a robot head. That's it. That's it. They've released a whole new toy again, and they didn't even change the mould. Well, I can't really mind. They don't do that with Lot very often, do they? Anyway, that is Waspinator, one of my favourite characters out of the Beast Wars. Very interesting one to watch. If you've never seen Beast Wars, I say this every time, don't I? So I might as well carry on saying it. Please check the show out. You won't be disappointed, and especially the character development of this one that never changes. And he's so good. He can just put himself back together every time without the need of stasis locks, CR chambers, anything. He just does it all himself. But there you go. Look out for this chap. Look out for the show. I hope that was a help. Hope that was of some help as regards the character of Waspinator. So that's me. That's Starscream. Signing off. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you for my next review or whatever I feel like doing. Take care.